Welcome to Courage, Humanity, and the Streets of the Mind. This week's episode of Faith and Friction. Listen as Mac and his co-host, The Rev, connect toxic mold to toxic thoughts and declare that it's time to clean house. Discover how taking responsibility for your thoughts can lead to spiritual rebirth. Welcome to the conversation.
Oh, faith and friction. God, we live life in faith and friction, Rev, don't we, man? Huh?
I think so. And you're opening. I thought, man, I better buckle up and strap in here.
This is going to be a fun episode because these are the Rev Nuggets. I haven't decided what I'm going to call this yet. We used to do Mystic Mac Nuggets and some other stuff, right? So I'm thinking the Rev Revelations or something. Here's the scoop today, everybody. You're going to be able to get some really great wisdom and nuggets from none other than the Rev.
And I'll be honest, a little nervous because I'm going to be held accountable to something I said in a sermon a couple of weeks ago. And I don't know what's going to come up. So I am open and ready and receptive.
I knew you would be. And so let me give the listeners a little bit of background here. So a couple of weeks ago, the Rev is my reverend, right? So we go to church. I go to his church. We go to church together, right? And I always enjoy listening to the Rev, and it's always great. But boy, a couple weeks ago, I just came away from that Sunday morning going, oh my goodness, there were so many great little nuggets that I wish I had time to write them all down, but of course you don't. And I said, oh my gosh, I looked at my wife and I said, okay, podcast episode. I'm listening to that episode again. I'm going to write down some of my little nuggets that I get. And I'm going to put the Rev on the spot.
You know, the reality is that is the ultimate compliment. It's not applause or, yeah, that was great. Somebody writes something down and then thinks about it is the ultimate goal of why I say anything.
We're going to honor you in this episode.
You're very
I
kind.
Can't wait to share some of these nuggets with everybody. And here's the promo. Let's just get it out of the way right up front. You don't go to church. You don't go to our church. And that's great. You're listening and you don't. I encourage you to go out to unitynorth.org. Just listen to some of what the Rev's got to say, man. I encourage you in that. And of course, if you do go to our church and you're listening to this, you're going to hear a little different take on what you might have already heard.
You know what I love is when somebody hears something, everybody's hearing a different message. Every nugget is different and everybody's got a different perspective. I love that.
Yes.
That's what makes the world go around.
Yes.
People often ask me, how did you know to talk about exactly what I'm working on? I said, for all one, I'm going to talk about what I'm working on, and it's bound to hit at least 10 of you.
So strap in, gang. Okay, that's what we say a lot. Strap in to just listen to some of this. And of course, this episode, I get to interview the Rev, which is going to be a little different, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I know he can handle it, and I'm just looking to sit at his feet in this episode.
So my best to control the stuttering.
Be you. All right, we're going to take you just as it is. So
I gotta be me. I gotta be me.
There it is. We're bringing, and I won't even mention what happened Sunday, so we won't even go there. Here's the thing. You want a little teaser, everybody? Go listen to the sermon and the church service from just 2 days ago. Right? We're just, that's
it was
a teaser.
Real and raw, and I have got a little embarrassed, and it was all wonderful.
All right, so you're not doing a spoiler alert here or nothing. You're just going to have to go and check it out for yourself. All right. And here's another special thing. Look at your mug today, man.
My mug.
From
Wisdom says, cut out the bull right away.
Be
a cobra.
The cobra. This is it's a mug from our last podcast, but you mentioned this acronym in the service, so I just had to pull the old mug out for you.
I appreciate it.
We're cobra-ing. Is that a word? We're cobra-inged in this episode, right? We're just cutting out the bullshit right away.
Take the lid off.
All right. That's what this is about. We're taking the lid off and emptying out your head. Right.
That was the title of the talk.
Yeah,
I've got to empty out the inside of my head based on a beautiful song by Dave Wilcox.
Mm-hmm. So that was the title of the talk that the Rev gave. And so I'm just gonna shoot them out there, man. I want to know what you were thinking. I want
to know what you got from it too.
Oh, of course, absolutely. Okay. So here's the first one. And again, these are pretty much in chronological order because as I was listening to the sermon, I wrote them down. I did jockey some stuff around a little bit. So here we go. Here's the first one for me. The illusion the illusion is overcome by courage. Now, I kind of put a couple different things together there from what you talked about, but I thought it was a really interesting idea that, first of all, let's start with an illusion. What were you thinking when you use
Well, it's a basic tenet that everything we experience on this earth is just a made up. It's like a movie, and it is illusion, and it can be changed. We can change the film at any point, but it takes guts to do that, especially when everybody's wanting to watch the same movie, and it maybe isn't a positive movie. We have the ability to look deeply within and go, I want to change the film, and I want to cultivate the guts and the courage and the strength enough to go, maybe there's the emperor's new clothes here. Maybe everybody is believing something that isn't really true.
Yeah.
Let me be the first one to say, hey, can we try a different film? But it's a basic tenet that spiritually is everything that is true. Physically, we're not any of these things.
Yes.
We're not what we do. We're not our relationships. We're not our jobs. We're not our labels. Those are all just illusions based upon the ultimate truth. So it's clearing out the illusions to get to the ultimate truth of who we are spiritually.
And first of all, I love that word. You can put a lot of different words in there, but you're deceived even. You can go to a negative place just that says your closed-mindedness, what causes it to be an illusion, right? That we end up with a certain mindset. We end up with a certain paradigm.
I've had certain things where I believed something was true for so long, and then somebody finally years later disproved it and went, wow, I was kind of defending that passionately for a long time and realized it wasn't really true. Thank God for the person who gave me new information.
Let's go back to courage. It took courage for that person. Now, you might have heard it vicariously, through a movie or through a talk or something, but especially if you were having a conversation with somebody, they had the courage to maybe tell you something that they figured might definitely be a little different for you.
Considered, could you open up your mind? Exactly. And it's courageous to do it individually, one-on-one. Yeah. But how much more heroic is it to do it for a collective? I'm going to change the paradigm of what we've all been thinking.
Oh, boy, we could go all sorts of places with that, couldn't we now?
Okay. And it begins by emptying out what's in my head. What are the illusions that I believe that maybe weren't true?
And it's called dying to self and all kinds of other things that dying and resurrecting and all of that.
It's facing the dragon of the hero's journey. I've got to face the dragons that really have no power, but I've given them a great deal of.
I've been there, done that, man. I know how that feels. All right, so illusion, to overcome it, it's going to take some courage. You got to have some guts, like you said. I love that. Okay, how about this one? And you use this analogy, and you went to a lot of little different places with it. So we're just gonna walk down the street, man. Okay? So we're gonna go into the neighborhood. All right. I just love the way you painted that whole thing that we live in a neighborhood. We got a neighborhood in our mind, and there's different things in that neighborhood.
There are streets in the city of my mind and the city of my consciousness that are not safe to walk down.
I love when I started thinking about that going, oh my gosh, what a great analogy that if I go down that path, that street, it's scary for me.
It's dark. It's not lit well, and it's maybe boarded up windows, and there's graffiti all over the walls of limitation or doubt or fear or anger or hatred. It's there.
Oh, yeah. What a great picture. Because now you picture that's your mind. And so therefore, if that's your mind, what are you thinking? What are you thinking about those places, about that graffiti? What are you thinking about? And doesn't it, here's what I was thinking about it when I was going through this. Graffiti can be beautiful.
I think so. Some beautiful art.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. We go down downtown Atlanta. You go to the Krog Street Bridge thing down there. It's amazing. Are you all over the walls? And so are we afraid to walk down a dark street that the only reason it's dark is because we haven't flipped the switch? We haven't turned the light. We haven't even recognized the light. It's beautiful, but we're scared.
I'm afraid of what I might find there. There might be some deep buried wound that needs to be exposed. And so it's just easier to examine and judge the streets of your mind and not really get into my own. But all roads lead to self-inventory.
Yes.
All roads to healing collectively start and end with healing what's going on the inside first.
Get the street sweeper out, right? Crank it up. Okay.
One of the lines in the Dave Wilcox song talks about this kitchen sink inside my head. It's just full of dirty dishes. Pick one up and clean it.
Yeah, that's all. It's just start somewhere.
Yep.
Go with one of those little.
More than zero.
There we are, bringing that. One of those little things that you pick up the garbage with, the little thing on your hand. You don't have to bend over. You just pick the cups up and the trash on the ground and you put it in the bag.
Something. Oh, I don't know. Where can I get those? My back's a little tired from doing the garbage.
Peel it back. All right. So that was at the abandoned buildings, right? And I think I'm going to get here. Let me see.
Those are buildings that need to maybe be renovated. And this renovation's not a bad thing.
What do we do to gentrify a little bit? Now, we're not kicking people out.
No.
That's a different...
Rejuvenate. Those places that are maybe important to the wholeness of my being and my contribution to the wholeness of the world.
That's right. It's the communal aspect now, that if I begin to lift up my space, right? If I get a new paint job and somebody sees whatever it is, pretty much they don't even have to come. How about if I just repaint my door?
How about if I just sweep the sidewalk in front of that door?
That would help too.
We're all on the same street. It's like all our houses are on the same street. I believe in oneness. Let me just go clean up the street in front of my house.
We got to do some, all of it makes a difference.
It's just easier to make you wrong, make you bad. How come Mac's house is dirty out in front of his house?
Yeah.
That's just easier. And then what I find is really exciting is it's really neat. When you clean your own house, I think I use this in that. And you clean your own house, it's arduous work. But when you do it as a community,
you did, yeah.
I'm going to go to Larry's house and we're going to clean his and he's going to clean mine. And suddenly the whole street is cleaner for everybody.
You're right. You told that story and I've thought to myself when I've done that before, that whether it's me personally or certainly with a group of people, right? But so you just made me think of this. What about I just cleaned up, I just swept. Right. And you're still bad mouthing me. You're still looking over there and it's Mac's problem and all this other kind of stuff. But now you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go sweep in front of you.
Yep.
All right. And now how catchy can that be? How can that permeate now?
Service is the highest form of prayer. It's the highest form of communion, service to others.
Yes.
Regardless of your behavior.
I agree.
Demonstrates what I believe is the Christ consciousness, the Buddha consciousness, what we were designed to do as a collective.
Yeah. There it is. You want to know what the magical quintessential question? What's the purpose of my life? Right? That whole big, what's God's purpose for my life? When you spend your whole life trying to figure that out, right? And most of the time you're just frustrated. When it could really just boil down to something very simple. What did Jesus say? Love one another.
As I have loved you.
Does love produce service?
Yep. Plain and simple.
We don't have to.
Don't complicate it.
This doesn't take an Einstein to come up with what's the answer to all of this, okay? So come on, everybody. Let's get real. So I loved it. The Rev did this thing about the abandoned streets and the graffiti. And here's the next little nugget. Safe place to bring your humanity. I thought that little clip was how great. Not your talent and not your this, not your, just you. Just your humanity. And sometimes especially depends on what faith thing you came through.
Yeah.
You don't really
It's not okay to own your humanity.
So what are you thinking about there, man? I want to hear.
Religious systems for centuries, and they exist right now just down the street from us. I can go to 10 places.
Yeah.
Your humanity is not welcome. It's sinful. It's awful. It's terrible. You were born broken. You were born stained, and you have to set that all aside. And I think there's a reason we're on earth. I think the healing that needs to happen is getting into the streets and cleaning together and realizing we're doing it together as a human race. And I don't think denying anybody's humanity is a really effective way to anything except just avoidance.
Kidding.
It's avoidance for the very reason that we're here.
Let's see what's wrong with this picture, right? You kind of step back and you go, why do we think, regardless of whether is God like that? That's the whole Rob Bell thing keeps coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of God is that?
I mean, there's a song, old country song, I used to sing it. What if Jesus comes back like that? 6 months pregnant, hooked on crack. The reality is when we share our humanness from a vulnerable place, we give other people. And I think there's a greater healing for everybody. If you deny the humanness, people are living afraid. I'm in fear that I cannot be accepted here because I'm embarrassed by what I've done with my life. Don't be embarrassed. Put it onto the altar of our common human experience and then let's just talk about it and let's heal it.
Yeah.
We're hiding. The human race is hiding from humanity.
Yes.
And if churches cannot be a safe place to acknowledge our humanness, where is there a safe place to do that?
Let's go back to your neighborhood. Guess what? Everybody's hiding behind their own door.
Yeah.
There it is right there. Are we willing to venture out to a place that is scary, maybe?
Yep.
Or even if it's familiar, but now we got to deal with that guy or that woman or whatever.
Somebody's judgment. Somebody might not like me. They might really have bad opinions about me. That's okay, because it's a spiritual reality.
Yeah.
My humanness in partnership with my spirituality creates more love.
It's inseparable. I don't know how many, to me, we've dissed so often our humanity and haven't appreciated it enough, without a doubt. And that creates a whole nother scenario, right? So
I think those are divine gifts. Our human expressions and our human failings and limitations can be incredible gifts for transformation.
I think that's about the only way we end up. I don't know how we step outside of our humanity. And we should.
When Jesus didn't, is my great example. He did not.
No. All right.
Those who teach a lot want to put his humanity off to the side.
Oh, absolutely.
But I remember when I was introduced to reading the scriptures and seeing his humanity, it's on full display there, and went, I can resonate with this guy. I want to get on the street with him. I want to sweep the streets with him.
Yes. That's been a problem, I think, for a long time, is the unrelatability. I'm making up words here now, but you don't have that. Yeah, man. And Jesus encouraged us all the time to do it. Go ahead, do it. You just like me, you can do it. And we were like, no, sorry, we're not going there. All right. Putting your guts on the table is holy work. I love that too.
On the table, on the altar.
On the altar.
Sacred.
Yes. I loved that. That just said, is it a struggle? Yes, it is. Is it hard? Is it this? We always want to give all these adjectives to it, but it's holy.
It speaks to faith.
It's holy.
I have faith enough in God. I have faith enough in humanity, and I have faith enough in myself to put the guts on the table and not let fear drive that.
That's holy.
Fear will say, keep it behind the door.
Yeah.
Just don't go out on the street, pretend or hide. And faith says, no, there's enough good to put it on the table and know that I will be all right.
Again, holy. It's honoring. It not only honors you, it honors us, and it honors the divine. I think it all the way across. That's holy.
I believe so.
What a beautiful way to put it.
And again, it's just the laboratory of my own life. I've proven that principle. I hid most of my life. And when I quit hiding and I said, take me, leave me, accept me, reject me, here I am.
Yeah.
In my fullness, I found there were more people that really wanted to explore our humanity as the very portal to God.
And again, you said it, it's beautiful. I mean, come on, our humanity. All right. What else? I love this. We love. Now let's go back to that neighborhood. Let's go back to the dilapidated neighborhood with the graffiti. We love to cover up the toxic mold. Oh, I love that toxic mold.
It's eating us up from the inside out. That which we're hiding is really not hiding. It's just eating you.
Yeah.
It's eating you alive, and it's guiding your life. It's driving your life, and you don't even know it. You think nobody can see it, but it's on full display.
Yeah, and what you've done the best you can to whitewash. So you don't have to really look at it. Okay.
I'll put some paint over that mold. And then guess what? 3 months, 3 weeks down the road, that mold's showing up again.
The green, there it comes. Okay. So how's that working for you?
You gotta feel it to heal it. Yeah. I'm gonna feel the mold, and then I can heal it. I've got to lean into it, lean into the humanity and the pain and the wound, so that I can then heal it. If I just try to cover it up, whitewash it, as you said, no,
the toxicity is still there.
Yep.
So I love that. That was a great saying. Thank you for that. Okay. This is a meme. We haven't said that very much in this podcast because I don't really do a whole lot of them anymore. But this is a meme. Let's adopt responsibility over pretense. Responsibility over pretense.
When that one went down, when that one went onto the paper, I had to really sit with that. And really, where did that come from? A lot of my messages are kind of downloaded, and I grabbed from sources and ideas. This one's just responsibility over pretense. And again, it's speaking directly to my soul that has mastered the art of pretense, of pretending. Make everybody happy, and I don't even know who I am, because who do you want me to be, and who do you want me to be, and who do you want me to be? And I don't even know who I am. I'm taking responsibility, my ability to respond to life when it hits. not what I think anybody else needs. I'm gonna own my feelings. I'm gonna own my life. I'm gonna own my reactions. I'm gonna own my mold, and I'm gonna own the cure for the mold. And inevitably, pretense has to leave. It has to be excommunicated from the house.
Yeah. Just those two together. I had never thought about saying that way of saying it. And you can substitute different words in there for the same words, for sure. But it's that posturing pretense that it does take a responsibility to say, stop it. Just, I'm going to be more responsible than that.
And I am responsible for me. That's it. You know, I
own
can
your life.
point fingers at you and say, you need to be more responsible and quit pretending. But I haven't cleaned up my own house.
I haven't swept my front porch at all.
And does that come from a place I haven't really accepted myself?
Okay.
So if I pretend, I don't have to look at myself. Go into those dark alleys full of graffiti. It's no, I need to take responsibility that I manifested this street. I created this street. I either cared for it or didn't. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to begin one small step at a time cleaning house.
And being honest. Just
honest with
totally
ourselves.
Being honest. This is it. This is me. Where was that? I thought there was a TV show or I think This Is Us. I think that's what
I think it's important in exercise though, because there are religious paths will say, I am a sinner. And then we just stay there. I am a sinner. I'm no good. No, I'm taking responsibility for the life I want to create, the better man I want to be, the better human being I want to be. So that's what I'm being responsible for. I'm going to own. I have blind spots. I have belief systems that maybe need to be looked at. I have defensive techniques that I've used. I'm just going to look at it, but not to camp out there, but to do better.
Yeah, to repaint the room or something, whatever.
It's like that old joke, did sin and repaint no more? Or
I don't know. That's quite biblical.
I don't know what it is, but there's something about go forth and repaint no more. Putting stuff over the mold.
There it is. Maybe that's a new one. There's a verse in the Bible, I think, that says that. Okay, so good stuff, man. I really like that responsibility over pretense. That's what man, that's good. Okay. And of course, we in unity talk about renewing your mind all the time, your mind. And of course, it's right there in Romans 12. It's not like we're trying to make up something.
It is the
here.
very tool. It is the very power to change our experience.
Yes.
What's going on between your ears? Empty out the inside of your head and just examine it. Is it creating the world I want or is it not? Is what's coming out of my mouth, which is the testimony to what's in my head, is it making the world I want to, heaven or hell? Plain and simple. And make the adjustments. You don't like what you're seeing, make the adjustments because thoughts held in your mind will reproduce. And they're reproducing like rabbits. I think I said that. The rabbits, man, you allow that thought in there and it's okay and it's acceptable in the house, it's going to reproduce.
Here's the next point. You said, and here, what do you do about that then? I love this thing too. Evict the thoughts that have overstayed their welcome. Love that,
I'm serving papers. It's time to have a different idea.
Oh my gosh. Evict them. Put the stuff out on the street.
I just appreciate that you appreciate my metaphors that I beat to death.
I love that. Evict it, man. Just, put the notice on the door, take the keys, change the locks, whatever it takes. Okay?
And that is grace. That is grace. I have the choice to what I evict, what I welcome into the city, the house, the street of my mind.
Yes.
That's an empowering thing. And it's also very scary.
That's what I was just going to say. It's also very scary.
Responsibility. But the reality is, I don't want this anymore. This isn't serving me anymore or the world anymore. It is evicted. And lock the doors, change the locks.
And what was I just thinking here just a second ago? I said, and you got to stop blaming others by saying, you let them in. Okay. I didn't want that person here, but we're in this together. And so I wish they weren't, but it's your fault.
Yeah. I like to teach, and this is going to be a little complex, cause and effect are not separated by time and space.
Yeah.
My life as it is today is not the effect of a cause of something that happened 10 years ago, 10 minutes ago, or 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
It is my current thought about what happened. Plain and simple. I get to choose suffering or I choose life based on my reaction to however anybody else is behaving. So when I blame you, I'm giving all of the power away. I'm giving you to be the cause of my current suffering or pain or difficulty or bad thinking or bad language. You're responsible. Wow. That's a way to perpetuate the suffering for the entire planet.
That just doesn't get us anywhere but down the rabbit hole.
You could say something right now that could really offend me. You're not the cause of my suffering. My reaction to what you just said is going to be the cause of my suffering. That's a tough concept right there.
That's a tough one to get again, that's personal responsibility.
Yep.
That's own your life, right?
Own your
We've been
life.
talking about that. All right. So let's see here. Evict the thoughts that have overstayed their welcome. I love that. In the same vein, beliefs that are living rent-free and destroying our souls. Come on. Give me where'd that come from?
Oh, gosh, man.
Come on, man.
That could go 100 different places. Read it again.
All right. Beliefs that are living rent-free and are destroying our souls.
It's allowing thoughts that are, and this is a human reality, an ego reality versus a spiritual reality. And people come in and there's squatters' rights. The thought now has been embedded into the ego. And when the ego is running the control over the life, the soul is screaming, you have forgotten me. You have forgotten the truth. You have forgotten the essence of your very soul. It's the man and the man's ego destroying the spiritual or the Christ part of that person. It's unexamined. It's unexamined thinking.
Yeah.
It's rent-free. I don't ever ask for anything from you.
Yeah.
And so it just runs rampant. And it's made a mess of the house of my consciousness.
So good,
and my soul is starving in the corner going, what are you doing?
It's living rent. That's going to have to start coming out. We're going to remember that because I'm going to remember it. And I guarantee you there's going to be dozens of examples as we move forward in more episodes where we're going to say, hey, wait a minute. Is that living rent free? Okay, I know it's.
Well, I kind of have to ask myself that every day. But it's a good exercise.
I love that. It's so cool, man.
What's the payoff? There is no payoff for this thought I'm having.
Yeah.
It's rent free. And my soul's going, what about me?
Being paid.
There's not enough room for my ego and my soul in the same house.
That was great. All right, that was great. Let's see. You have to. Resurrection requires release. Resurrection requires release. Resurrection with release, right? And again, I thought that. Anything come to the top of your mind when you said that?
If I want to be reborn, I want to be made renew. That's not just, I'm cleansed by somebody else doing it. I have to cleanse myself, empty out the inside of the stinking thinking out of my head. I have to give something up. I have to make the journey sacred. I have to, in essence, crucify parts of myself that no longer are positive or conducive to the life I want to create. If I don't give them up, they're the veritable blocks to me resurrecting.
There it is.
I'm not going to be born again or born anew unless I give something up. And a lot of people teach being born again is just simple. I say a few words. Okay, great. No, there's personal responsibility here. You're going to have to give up
It's a lifelong.
certain behaviors, certain beliefs, certain ways of doing things. And that's not easy.
Oh.
Resurrection comes at the price of us crucifying the parts of ourselves don't belong.
Correct. And it's that release. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to go back to my apartment, right? I'm going back to the street. I'm going back to my mind. And I've got stuff in that apartment. I don't care whether it's an old sofa that I just don't want to give up or it's some brand new shiny bicycle that I paid 4 times what I should have and I could not afford it, but I got a grip on it and I'm not willing to release it. I did a meme one time that said, how tightly do you hold your truths? That's what I used, right? It said, it's a very short distance between white knuckles and bloody knuckles.
Yep, that's true.
And so we grab and we hold on to all this stuff that, like you just said, it's getting in the way. It's holding us back as we hold on. So
I love the analogy that you used. I'm looking back to the days, single days. And it's, I want the girl to come over to the apartment and enjoy a good time with me, but I really love this sofa that's going to make her gag. The sofa needs to be gotten rid of. Why don't you prepare the room for the woman? And so I've got to prepare for the heaven I want. I have to prepare the room.
Yeah.
It's old. I think I used that analogy in the talk. Putting new wine into old wineskins, you spoil it all. The girl's not coming to the apartment because you haven't put any effort into preparing the place for her. The heaven isn't going to come because you've not done any preparation between your ears. Or in your life. You haven't swept the street. Nobody's coming over to an unkempt street.
Are you the person that the person you're looking for is looking for.
Exactly.
Right? The Andy Stanley thing, man. I always remember
Be
that.
the person that you want to attract.
Absolutely. Okay. So let's see. Oh, this is a good one, and we're kind of getting close. I love this one. And the picture was awesome, too, that Misty did. I loved it.
Oh, yeah. That video, that stream was great.
The story we refuse to release becomes the cage we live.
That's all over
inside.
Facebook right now. It's getting some hits.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And it's really challenging some people. I don't know who I am without my story. Yeah. Maybe there's a new you that wants to be born, but it can't be born because you haven't released the old you. You're carrying the same story. They wronged me. Again, it's back to giving the power away.
Yeah.
You give the power away to somebody, you're a perpetual victim and you're living in a victim story, and you're going to create more reasons to be a victim. You like that story? Great, keep it. But you got to give it up or you're living in a cage. Your suffering is the byproduct of you holding the same story.
Here's the thing I thought about too when you use the cage. Guess what? Here's one thing about that cage. It ain't locked.
Nope.
Okay. And
the door's wide open.
We become victims and we'll hunker down in there and not even try to open the door because we think it's locked. Or we hope it's locked. Because, man, the minute we open, now I got freedom to make my own choices and do whatever I want to do. And I don't think I'm that scary.
Yeah. Well, I think it's even scarier if it's unlocked and the door is open, what's going to get in. I'm not so much afraid about what needs to be emptied out. I'm afraid about what might come in that might challenge even a deeper belief system. Oh, wow. It's just easier to be comfortable in cage.
There it is. That was one of my points down here. A vacuum, right? If we create a vacancy, if there's no longer something there, then nature abhors a vacuum. Something's going to get filled, right? And so what are you going to fill it with? All right. What's it?
I'm afraid of the mystery. I don't know. So I'm going to take the story I do know because it feels more comfortable. And sometimes we have traded growth for comfort.
Oh, all the time.
Okay. We've done it religiously, emotionally, mentally, physically, politically. We've traded. This is the known. So I'm just going to stay with my story because I don't want to live into the mystery. It's a fear-based. And again, to go back to my original point, faith. I have the faith to put it on the table and go, I don't know what the vacuum is going to provide, but I'm open and ready because I trust God enough.
You're not going to get bedazzlement if you're going to settle for the same old. Okay. You're not going to live in that place. Okay. Couple more. We're getting to the end, but these are great. All right. We have a problem giving yesterday authority over today. And we've been talking about this. You've been talking about this all along, but to put it in those words, I thought
that's a recipe for stagnation.
Yeah.
Yesterday, last year, last week has authority. All the power is over there, and I'm living into that story. I'm missing the good of the moment.
We don't even realize it, I think, a lot of times, that thinking about yesterday is okay. We don't draw the connection between when we continue to think about that, it gives our today power away.
Yeah.
And that was one of those aha things. And it's not a concept that I haven't ever realized, but then when you put it in these words, it just had like that same thing. I didn't realize.
It's the power of now. It's out there all over, new thought teachings. We have 1 foot in yesterday, 1 foot in tomorrow. And we're splitting ourselves and not really getting any of the good that's available right now.
You know, for us guys, what happens when we split the difference?
It's the real.
Listen to his sermon from a couple days ago, okay, if you want to really.
I don't know if I can say it. We're busting our balls, so worried about yesterday and tomorrow that we're missing the God, the essence, the spirit, the love that's right before us.
Yes. Because we're in pain that we've created that we can't even see it. So, all right, here's what we're going to end with. Here's what we're going to end with. This was you said it. You're going to show up and you're going to suit up. Okay? Come on, Rev.
That honors you're in the game. You're not sitting in the stands. You put me in the game, coach.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be I may get 2 minutes on the field for this game, but I'm going to make the most of those 2 minutes. I'm going to suck the marrow out of this opportunity that's before me right now, good, bad, or otherwise. But I got to be on my toes, poised, ready to get into the game.
Yep. I'm suiting up and I'm showing up with everything I got.
Everything I am.
Yep. Everything I am, everything. And I'm saying basically for me, I would say all right, I have surrendered. I have tried to put my ego, laid it down to be resurrected into something greater than that I have. It's always been there. All right. Yep. It's not like I got to go get it somewhere. And
it's
then,
just recognition.
You know what? At that point, I'm strapped in. Where are we going? All right, man, I got a choice. And yes, I do. And all of that. Of course, I'm not abdicating my responsibility. But when I couple it with the power of the divine, and now we're going, and your power and mine and our power, it's the we that's much better than the me. All right. So I love that. Suiting up. Thanks for suiting up today, Rev.
Well, thanks for the challenge.
So fun.
Sounds like it might have been a pretty decent talk.
I think so.
I better go back and listen to it.
And I can't encourage our listeners enough to go listen to it. And even if you do go to church with us, if you're listening and you were even there, take what we've just talked about, a little more personal, go back and listen to it again.
What I love about this exercise is when I tell my congregation, hold me accountable. Yeah. If it came out of my mouth, hold me accountable to it. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I want to be, and this is where my talks usually come from. I'm living this experience, so let me talk about it. And I joke, oh, welcome to my therapy. But the reality is, as I said earlier, we're all working on the same stuff. So I put my guts on the table when I do talk.
Every Sunday.
And I'm vulnerable and humble. Yep. It's not therapy, but what it is, it's being real and authentic enough to know that I trust the God showing up in my congregation, across the table at the microphone in front of me, the listening on the other side of this microphone, that we can create higher and better reality. And I want to lead the way by sweeping my house and opening up. Here are the streets. They've been mismanaged for a while or neglected, but let's clean it up together.
Thank you. Thank you. I can say that personally. I wouldn't be
sitting there if you weren't willing to do the same thing.
It's all good stuff. And so this is us today. This is our graffiti. This is our street sweeping. This is the name of this. This was so fun. Thanks so much. I know the Rev really didn't know exactly what this was all going to be like. All right, tonight.
I am getting ready for the interview of Mac in a couple of weeks then, where I'm going to listen to what he says and take notes.
What comes around, goes around, comes around, right?
That's right, karma.
Goes around, comes around. Yeah, karma. Yeah, we were talking about, you need to listen to that episode, by the way. Yeah. Cause and effect. All right. Thanks, Rev. Appreciate it, man. We'll do it again next week.
Bet.
Take care.